Hey Killer Bees, it's Paula B from PaulaBFitness.com, and on tap today, it's day 25 of the Weight Loss for Women Over 50 series. And today, we are all about walking with weights. You guys, that means that you're gonna need your lightest dumbbells today. If you don't have a light pair, you can absolutely go hands-free on this one, or make sure that you open up the description box below and get the exact 3-pair set that I have from Amazon that I use for all of these weighted workouts. You guys, today is completely low impact, which means that there is absolutely no jumping. There's also no transitions to the ground and no squatting today. When you're ready for this one, I'm totally ready. Let's go. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. Go ahead and have your dumbbells completely out of the way while we do our warm-ups, and we're gonna get started with those arm circles and high knees. Oh my goodness, how good does that feel? Oh, to get all those cricks and cracks out of your shoulders. I hear it in my shoulders, you know, because it's right there next to my ears, but I guarantee that my hips, my knees, my ankles, and my toes are all popping right now too. You guys, this warm-up is just perfect for getting all of the cricks and cracks out of your joints while we move gently at first, and then, my friends, we're gonna be doing some moving today. Today is such a fun workout, but I have to tell you, I'm a little bit nervous about keeping track of it. We're doing a format that I totally love, and that if you've been around the Paula B Fitness channel, you've definitely done before. We are doing step stools today, which I absolutely adore. It's such a great way to get like a pretty high volume of work done in very manageable intervals. But here's the thing, ordinarily with a step stool, we do one exercise and then we rest, and then we do 2 exercises in a row and then we rest, and then we do 3 exercises in a row and then we rest. But today, being a walking with weights workout, that rest is actually going to be a walking pace. So technically speaking, there's absolutely no rest today, which means that of course I'm going to give you my warning that I give you literally every single day, I think at this point. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Take today at a pace that you can manage. Take today with weights that you can manage. You know what, just go ahead and take every day of your life at a pace that you can manage. There's no prize for pushing yourself too hard and doing too much. And in fact, there are some downsides to pushing yourself too hard and doing too much. So make sure that today's workout feels like a kindness to yourself, a gentleness to yourself, a little bit of love for yourself, and you know, some sweat for yourself. So the intervals are a very manageable 20 seconds. And that means that we're going to be kind of moving quickly in between the exercises. I tried very hard to choose exercises that would flow together. If you ever get lost though, because this is a walking with weights workout, let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Come on back to walking. When in doubt, walk it out is like my favorite motto in the entire world, because it really works for so many things. Walking is such a perfect exercise in so many ways. Anytime you don't like something that I'm doing or can't follow what I'm doing or whatever, just go ahead and march. You're doing a great job no matter what you're doing. And in fact, speaking of doing a great job and speaking of no matter what you're doing, let's go ahead and get started. If you feel warm enough. If you don't, you know, you could take this first step stool unweighted as kind of an extended warm-up if you'd like to. You can always modify these workouts and make them work for you, my friend. I'm gonna grab my weights. When you're ready, you can do the same. We're actually gonna get started with a walking interval, just so that we can kind of get into it. Whew, and get ready for it mentally. Here's what it looks like. We're going to do, when it beeps again, we're going to do half jacks, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's half of a jumping jack. The right half of your body is going to do a jumping jack, and then the left half of your body is going to do a jumping jack, except of course that there's absolutely no jumping. After that, so here we go with half jacks. Nice job. Totally slowed this down from what I would consider a normal pace because of these weights in my hand. Make sure that you find a pace that works for you. When it beeps, we're going back to walking. Excellent job. Making sure that you're breathing through it. Very nice. Right back to walking. Okay. So the next time it beeps, we're going to do those half jacks plus skiers. Skiers are where we are shuffling our hands up and down in front of our body while shuffling our feet back and forth underneath us. After that, we come back to the walking. So this is a longer other thing interval. So here's our half jacks. I know sometimes you just follow me and you're not really trying to figure out what we're doing with the workout, but I have to organize it in my mind, which is why I'm explaining it to you. When it beeps, we're doing those skiers. Good job, making sure you're breathing. And then here we go with skiers. So your hand is coming up while your opposite foot is going back. When it beeps again, we're coming back to that walking motion. Very nice job. Finding yourself a good moderate pace today, because moderate, as we have discussed numerous times, here we are with walking, is best for weight loss. My friends, I know it's hard to wrap your brain around that, but have you? 25 days in, I've said it, I think every single day we've worked out. When it beeps again, we're doing those half jacks. How is it feeling with moderation? I know when you first start getting into it, here we go, half jacks. Half on one side, half on the other. When it beeps, we're doing those skiers again. And this time we're adding something I'm calling twisting openers. We're going to open our hands, kind of like, honestly, it's very much like a welcome to my home, except that we've got one hand going forward and the other hand going back. So here we are with skiers. One hand going up and down in front of you, one foot stepping back at a time. When it beeps again, we're going to have one hand facing forward while we twist open with the other hand and the other foot, and then we'll switch sides. So we'll twist it open one way and twist it open the other. So twisting open and twisting open. Twisting open, twisting open. Very much like a welcome to my home. Stepping that foot back, twisting open with your hands. Whoo, doggies. This is a long interval of cardio toning, and here we are back to walking. I know, I missed that walking, except that you might have been doing some walking in between. You guys, we're going to do that exact same step stool one more time, but that means that we get to start down at the bottom of the step stool. So when it beeps again, we're going to do half jacks and then come back to this walking. So half a jack and then the other half. Nice job. Finding that pace. It's so interesting to me every time we do cardio toning, walking with weights, workouts like this, how much of an impact light dumbbells have on what we're doing. Right back to walking. Excellent, excellent job. It's why I tell you to use your lightest dumbbells, my friends. Heavier dumbbells, some people will tell you to always go as heavy as you can. And there is a time and a place for that, absolutely. Here we go with those half jacks again. And then this time we're adding skiers to it. Nice job. There is a time and a place for going heavy with weights, absolutely. And heavy for you is heavy. There's no minimum standard on that. When it beeps, we're going into those skiers. But there is also very much, here we go with skiers. When it beeps again, we're going right back to walking. There is also a time and a place to go light. And when we are moving quickly like this is actually the time to go light. We would love to pick up heavier dumbbells. Here we are with walking. Heavier dumbbells when we are doing what I call strength training. There's some strength to be had. There's some muscle toning, muscle tissue to be gained from doing this fast moving work. But there's also the very real risk of injury when you have something heavy. Here we are with those half jacks. This is our full step stool. We're doing half jacks, then skiers, then those twisting openers. Excellent job. No jumping necessary to get that heart rate up. When it beeps, we're going into those skiers. Hands going forward, or rather up and down in front of you, while one foot steps back at a time. And then we're coming into those twisting openers, basically a big welcome to my home, with one hand out in front, one hand back behind you, twisting back and forth. Excellent job. So here we go, twisting open, one hand at just about chest level in each hand. One One big twist open and one big twist the other way. When it beeps again, oh my gosh, these dumbbells got heavy. When it beeps again, here we are back to walking. And that was the end of step stool number 1. What a great job you did. When it beeps again, we're going to do booty kicker elbow swings. So booty kickers, just like we do with our opening warm-ups, but elbow swings, meaning that we're getting our hands really into it, swinging those elbows forward and back. So here we go with booty kicker elbow swings, making sure that your hands are moving at a level that does not punch you in the face. That actually got really close to my face just there on that first one. When it beeps again, we're coming right back to walking, finding that nice moderate pace, whatever works for you. And I know that sometimes you think what works for you is to go faster and push harder and pick up heavier dumbbells like we were talking about. And the fact is, you're still perfectly capable of doing that work. I'm still perfectly capable of doing plenty of work. Here we are with these booty kicker elbow swings. When it beeps again, we're going to do that push, push, crunch. That means that we're going to push to the side, maybe 1 or 2 steps, and then we're going to swing up overhead down into an oblique crunch. These weights will get mighty heavy when we do that. So push, push, and crunch. Push, push, and crunch. It's a cardio move that we're taking a little bit slower because of these weights. When it beeps again, whew, doggies, we're going to come back to that walking motion. Awesome job. Oh my gosh. The thing about moderation is that you don't always feel it in the moment when you're not moderating. I very frequently go a little too hard, accidentally. When it beeps again, we're starting again with those booty kicker elbow swings. This is our full step stool. So booty kicker elbow swings, then push, push, crunch, and then a little something I call high hand kicks, because we're going to put our hands high while we're kicking. It's a little bit of a cheerleader move. When it beeps though, we're doing that push, push, crunch next. Awesome job. I'm scooting over to the side, giving myself a little bit of space here, getting ready for it. Push, push, and crunch. Push, push, and crunch. When it beeps, hands are going to start at your shoulder height. They're both going to go up together, up overhead, while kicking 1 foot at a time. It is an overhead move, which means your heart rate will come up fast. So high hand kicks. Finding a pace that does not send your heart rate skyrocketing. You could move faster, but you don't need to. When it beeps again, we're coming back to that walking motion. This was our whole step stool. And that means that we get to do it one more time, starting with just the booty kicker elbow swings before we come back to walking. The thing about accidentally doing too much is that honestly, if you're accidentally doing a little bit too much, most of the time, you might not notice it at all in terms of how you feel. You might just always be a little bit tired, a little bit achy, and it might not feel as though it's related to doing a little bit too much. When it beeps again, we're coming back to that walking, because this was just the first of our step stool. When it beeps again, we're doing 2 of them. We're doing the booty kicker elbow swings plus the push, push, crunch. And the thing is, we get really used to that. I find myself getting very used to and making the, oh, I'm not as young as I used to be excuse for having a little, here we go with those booty kicker elbow swings, having a little bit of not feeling amazing all the time. And the fact is, not feeling amazing all the time is actually a signal from your body that you need to be doing something else. And maybe the something else is moderation. Here we go with that push and crunch. Now here's the thing. I don't mean to tell you that you have to slow down to your rocking chair. I am never gonna tell you that you can't do stuff. What I am gonna tell you though is to think about and listen to what your body is saying. Your body, here we go back to walking. Next time it's the full step stool, booty kicker elbow swings, push, push, crunch, and high hand kicks for the second and final time. Your body has things to say to you all the time. And even if your body is telling you to slow down right now, that doesn't mean that you can never, here we go with booty kicker elbow swings, I had to think really hard about that. It doesn't mean that you can never push hard again. It means that your body needs a break. After you give it some moderation and a break for a while, you can add intensity again. Adding intensity slowly, carefully, with deliberation. Here we go with that push, push, crunch, push, push, and crunch. And when it beeps again, doing those high hand kicks. You have plenty left in you. You have enough to spare that you can meet any fitness goal you want to. And here we go, both hands going up overhead, starting at your shoulders, pressing up while kicking forward. Whoo, doggies, when it beeps again, coming back to that walking motion. Great job. The thing is though, that you and I need to listen, here we go with walking, to when your body wants to push and how much it wants to push. You don't have to live with pain. You don't. When it beeps again, we're doing tap back bursts, which is just what it sounds like. We're going to tap back. It's a little bit of a curtsy lunge, but I don't like to call it that because it's not really a lunge. We're tapping back and bursting out. Tapping back, bursting out. We are not coming into a full lunge. We're basically kind of a little bit of a crouch, just getting little and getting big, almost like a starburst, but we've got that step back that really targets, the outside of your booty as well as your inner thighs, and right back to walking. Nice job, my friends. This does not get easier as they don't. And here's the thing. If today ends up being a little bit too much, take it down another notch tomorrow. I'm definitely not telling you, here we go with those tap back bursts and up and tap back and burst. When it beeps again, we're going to do dancing X's. Going to have your hands wide and your feet wide, bringing one elbow to your opposite knee in the middle. So starting off like the letter X and dancing in the middle. So here we go, nice and wide, knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Ooh, having both hands up means I had to find a new gear, a different pace for this particular exercise. When it beeps, coming back to that walking, which feels like a break from all these other exercises, doesn't it? Hands down, back into walking. Awesome job. I'm never going to tell you that you have to stop. I'm never going to tell you that you shouldn't work out. Unless you are injured. That's a whole other story. If you are injured, yeah, you need to take rest. When it beeps again, we're doing those tap back bursts. Again, this is the whole step stool. So tap back, burst out. Tap back, burst. I'm going to do those dancing X's next. Hands are wide, feet are wide. Excellent job. But barring an actual injury, my friends, I'm not going to tell you that you can't work out. Here we go, dancing X's. But I am going to tell you that listening to your body is the nicest thing that you can do. When it beeps again, we're doing tree jacks. Your hands are doing jumping jacks without any jumping at all. Your feet are doing a tree pose like we do in yoga. Putting one foot in a balanced pose up on the other leg somewhere. Maybe it's your ankle, maybe it's your shin, maybe it's your knee or your thigh. Really paying attention mostly to not falling over, but also to your arms doing this work and your heart and lungs. Asking you exactly, right back to walking. Exactly how much more of this we have to do. Well, my friends, we have one more step stool. This is the step stool, but we're going to do it one more time. So we're going to start again with just the tap back bursts all by themselves before we go back to walking. You are doing such a great job today, figuring out your moderation, listening to what your body has to say. Sometimes, honestly, it's confusing what your body has to say, and sometimes we willfully ignore it. You know, fitness trainers for years now have been saying no pain, no gain. If you're not sore, you didn't work out hard enough. Here we are back to walking. When it beeps again, we'll do those tap back bursts plus the dancing X's, the middle of our step stool. But the fact is, you don't have to hurt to make fitness gains. You don't have to hurt to get where you want to go. And so here we are with those tap back bursts. Nice job. And for so many of us, that message just doesn't make sense for a long time. When it beeps again, doing those dancing X's. Beautiful work, my friends. Feeling my shoulders. It's okay to feel work, but it's also okay to take it down a notch. It's okay to find your moderate. It's okay to get results without pain, without pushing yourself, without doing too much. Right back to walking. And I know that me saying this message to you every day for 25 days is not going to automatically counteract 25 years of hearing the exact opposite or feeling the exact opposite. The next time it beeps, you guys, we're doing those tap back bursts. We're doing the whole step stool. So tap back and burst, tap back and burst, plus the dancing X's, plus the tree jacks. This is our last time through this last step stool. Awesome job. Very nice. And then here we go with those big dancing X's. And then when it beeps again, bringing our hands down for a second, thank goodness, and doing tree jacks for the second and final time. What a good job you're doing on this. Finding what works for you. Here we go with tree jacks. Very nice. You guys, when it beeps again, we are technically done, but we're not quite finished. But we're going to go into a walking interval first. I'm going to bring my heart rate down a little bit before we do the finisher, because this finisher is a bit of balance work. Next time it beeps, it's a bit of balance work. I'm going to stand on my left foot. We're doing slow sprinters. We're going to extend ourselves out like we are running super fast, and then crunch ourselves in like we are getting ready to sprint. It's going to be your opposite elbow to your opposite knee at the middle of it. So crunch in and extend out. Crunch in, extend out. When it beeps again, we're going to switch sides, and that really will be it. There's no more walking, there's no more crunching, there's no more balance work, there's no more anything except the cool down. So other side. So crunch in, extend out. Crunch and extend. What a good job you're doing. Oh my gosh, really thinking about those deep core stabilizers. Doing lots of good work for you right now. This is why we work on our core, my friends. Go ahead and put those dumbbells down and completely out of the way. I know. When we do these walking with weights, let's go ahead and do some arm circles with some nice gentle tappers. We really do get right up to the edge of what's moderate and, frankly, what's not. And I know that. And it's one of the reasons why I've included it so much in this month's series. I want you to be able to figure out what feels right to you. Moderate for you might look exactly like my moderate, might look completely different from my moderate. When you figure out that great, beautiful line of doing enough without doing so much that you ache, or you're sore, or you're tired, or you need to take time off, or you're battling an injury, when you find that beautiful, beautiful balance, that's where we make the magic happen, my friend. That is where we can lose weight. That is where we can get fit. That is where we can do anything we want at any age. Go ahead and open up. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful stretch on my chest and my shoulders, which feel the work we just did. And then give yourself a big hug. I'm so proud of you. Pat yourself on the back and feel that stretch. Whoo, doggies across those big muscles in your back that just did a lot of carrying of some relatively light weights. They were light when we started. They got heavier as we went, just the way they do. My friends here on screen, I am going to have an extended cool down for you. Today was a sweaty one. If you have the time and the inclination, I strongly suggest that you take the time to cool down just a little bit more than we're going to do here. On the other side of the screen is going to be all of these weight loss for women over 50 series videos. Right now there's only 25 of them, but at the end of the month you will have all 31 in one place that you can come back to again and again. On the bottom of the screen is the letter P. That is an invitation to go over to Patreon, where a monthly pledge from you helps me make free workouts for all of us. And thank you so much for your support if you do choose to do that. On the other side of the screen is a picture of me. That's actually a subscribe button. Make sure that you click that and the bell notification so YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you tomorrow.